Have you ever stopped to question the shape of the Earth? Our home planet, the third rock from the Sun, is generally accepted as a sphere, spinning on its axis, revolving around the Sun in a graceful celestial ballet. This spherical model, a gleaming blue marble suspended in the vast expanse of space, has been etched into our collective consciousness since time immemorial. It's a concept we've all learned in our earliest years of schooling, an unquestioned fact, a cornerstone of our understanding of the cosmos. The sphere, with its smooth curves and perfect symmetry, is an elegant solution to the riddle of the Earth's form. It's the shape we've seen in textbooks, in documentaries, even in images beamed back from space. But imagine for a moment, if you will, a different perspective. Picture a world not bound by the constraints of spherical geometry. A world where the horizon stretches out in an unbroken line, where the Earth beneath your feet is not a ball, but a plane. But what if the Earth isn't a sphere? What if it's flat? A growing number of people believe in the flat Earth theory. This might sound astonishing to many, but it's an intriguing perspective that's been gaining traction. So what exactly is this flat Earth theory? According to proponents of this theory, our planet isn't a sphere as we've all been taught. Instead, they believe that the Earth is a flat disk, akin to a gigantic pancake floating in space. Imagine a vinyl record spinning on a turntable, and you'd be close to the flat Earth model. In this model, the Arctic Circle sits at the very heart of the disk, like the spindle of our vinyl record. This central position, they argue, explains the circular patterns of the stars around the North Pole, which many of us have seen in time-lapse videos. Now, envision the outer edge of our record. That's where the Antarctic comes into play. Flat Earthers propose that what we know as the Antarctic isn't a continent perched at the bottom of our globe, but rather a colossal ice wall that encircles the edge of our disc-shaped world. This ice wall, they suggest, is what keeps our oceans from spilling off into the vastness of space. A bit like the rim of a giant bowl holding in the soup, but it doesn't stop there. Flat Earthers also posit that gravity, as we understand it, doesn't exist. Instead, they argue that the disk of Earth is accelerating upwards at a constant rate, driven by some mysterious force. This upward motion, they claim, is what causes the sensation of gravity. And what about the Sun and the Moon? In the flat Earth model, these celestial bodies are much smaller and closer than we think, moving in circles above the plane of the Earth, illuminating different areas at different times, just like spotlights. To flat Earthers, this is the true shape of our world. But how do they counter the arguments against their theory? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this captivatingly controversial concept. The spherical Earth theory has been widely accepted for centuries. How do flat Earthers debunk this? Now, let's delve into the counter-arguments that flat Earthers present against the widely accepted spherical model of the Earth. Their arguments are intriguing, to say the least, and they question some of the most fundamental aspects of our understanding of the world. A significant point of contention is the authenticity of NASA's images. Flat Earthers argue that these images, which depict our planet as a round sphere, are doctored or manipulated. They posit that these images are part of a grand illusion meant to mislead the public. For them, the lack of consistent, verifiable images of the Earth from space is a red flag, raising questions about what's real and what's not. Next, we come to the effects of gravity, a force we all experience but perhaps don't fully understand. The mainstream explanation of gravity, as a force pulling everything towards the center of the Earth, supports the idea of a spherical Earth. But flat Earthers challenge this notion. They propose an alternative view. Objects don't fall down because of gravity, but because of density and buoyancy. They argue that objects fall or float depending on whether they are denser or less dense than the air around them, not because of some invisible force pulling them towards the Earth's center. Flat Earthers also dispute the idea that the Earth's curvature impacts how we perceive distant objects. They claim that the disappearance of ships over the horizon, a phenomenon often attributed to the Earth's curvature, is merely an optical illusion. According to them, this effect is due to perspective and the limits of human sight, not the shape of the Earth. For flat Earthers, these counter-arguments are enough to debunk the globe model. But what does science say? That's the question we'll explore in the next segment. Remember, the goal here isn't to ridicule or dismiss, but to understand and engage in conversation. After all, questioning the status quo is how progress is made. Stay tuned and let's continue this fascinating journey together. Science has long provided evidence for a spherical Earth. Let's delve into this a bit, shall we? One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for a spherical Earth is a phenomenon that we've all probably seen or at least heard of: ships disappearing over the horizon. As a ship sails away from the shore, it doesn't just become smaller and smaller until it's out of sight. No, it actually seems to sink, starting from the hull and eventually leaving only the tip of the mast visible. This can only be explained if the Earth's surface is curved and the ship is gradually moving around that curve. Now, let's bring our gaze upward, to the stars. We've all marveled at the night sky, haven't we? But have you ever noticed that the stars you see change as you move from one latitude to another? For instance, people in the northern hemisphere can see the North Star, Polaris. But if you travel south, Polaris gradually disappears from view, while new stars invisible from the north come into view. This changing view of the heavens from different parts of the Earth is a clear indication of a spherical Earth. And then there are the images from space. Astronauts, satellites, and space probes have provided us with stunning images of our planet from space. And in all of these images, Earth appears as a blue and white sphere, hanging in the vastness of space. Surely these images are the most definitive proof of a spherical Earth. Yet, despite all this evidence, the flat Earth theory persists. Some claim that these images are fabricated, part of an elaborate conspiracy to hide the truth. Others argue that the phenomena we've discussed can be explained in other ways. The debate about the Earth's shape continues. What do you believe? Is the Earth a sphere or a flat disk?